William Edward Bernhard Du Bois. Date of birth: February 23, 1868. Place of birth: Great Barrington, Massachusetts. In early life, there was little signs of racism, with no more than 50 blacks in a community of 5,000. Study.com describes this as a racially integrated schooling experience, unlike most African Americans in 1868. He had white teachers that showed support towards him into getting an education. He attended Fisk University from 1885 to 1888, where he earned his first bachelor's degree. He then attended Harvard College from 1888 to 1890, where he earned his second bachelor's degree. He received a fellowship from John F. Slater Fund and attended the University of Berlin for graduate work in 1892. In 1895, he became the first African American to earn a PhD from Harvard University.
W.E.B. Du Bois. The first job he accepted was a teaching job at Wilberforce University in Ohio, where he became acquainted with Alexander Crummell, who believed that ideas and morals are necessary tools to effect social change. Among many, he also taught at the Atlanta University, where he had 2 stints as a publicist for the NAACP, National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. He was a founding officer of the NAACP. He also edited their magazine, The Crisis. He resigned from NAACP in June of 1934, reasons being he did not like the direction the organization was heading and believed they had lost focus. During his long, astonishing career, Du Bois published 19 books, edited 4 magazines, co-edited a magazine for children, and produced several articles and speeches. His most outstanding work is considered to be Souls of Black Folk, 1903, which is a collection of essays that depicted the life of an African American and the motives of his own work. During the 1950s, he swayed towards leftist causes, meaning he believed in social justices and was more Democrat liberal than he was conservative. He believed in social equality for everyone, which formed the Peace Information Center, and their motto was, "Is peace crime?" Following 4 other colleagues, this is the organization that they started. They were not complying with the Foreign Agents Registration Act, which led to indictment. Acquitted of the charges along with his colleagues, they faced many people shunning them and federal agents harassing them. This led Du Bois to flee the country, and in 1961 Du Bois settled in Ghana, where he began writing the Encyclopedia Africana. Shortly after joining the American Communists and becoming a citizen of Ghana, he died in 1963.
W.E.B. Du Bois had many contributions towards the development of education. He not only played a major role in the civil rights movement in the 1900s, but also had a big vision for equal education in the United States. He believed that African American students should have the same courses provided to them as any white student to prepare them for leadership roles as well. Du Bois published numerous works, led numerous organizations, and constantly fought for the rights of all American students, regardless of their race. He sought to strike balance between liberal and practical education for African Americans, since they were not being treated equally and were not being taught the same content as white Americans. The leadership he provided in the formation of the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, otherwise known as the NAACP, was a major factor contributing to the Supreme Court's ruling against the segregation of schools. Du Bois became a well-known historian and sociologist, also an author of several books. He was devoted to teaching, training, and mentoring college-educated Black people to become leaders of their race.
Considering public schools had the most diverse students in history, African American students were rarely socialized with. Du Bois dedicated his life to achieving equal rights. He supported women's rights, Pan-Africanism, and liberation. In 1899, Du Bois wrote The Philadelphia Negro. It was a social study that launched his writing career. Du Bois opposed Booker T. Washington's Atlanta Compromise because it did not have equal rights for African Americans. It stated that vocational education was more important than higher education or politics for African Americans. After writing The Souls of Black Folk, where he opposed Washington's plan, he dedicated the rest of his life to becoming a spokesperson for equal rights.
Lasting impact. W.E.B. Du Bois, in many regards, can be seen as a trailblazer for the advancement not only of colored people, but for the United States of America in its entirety. As the first African American to earn a PhD, he raised the bar on what African Americans could accomplish in the United States. His firm, intolerant attitude and behavior towards inequality set him apart from many other activists in that he was unwilling to compromise to inferiority. To state his quote once more, education must not simply teach work, it must teach life. This can be seen as a statement of opposition aimed at Booker T. Washington, who believed African Americans should prepare or accommodate to their reality as opposed to recreating it. Du Bois instilled in others an unyielding strength and faith so powerful that hundreds of thousands of people, both colored and white, rallied behind his cause across the nation.
He believed that education was the primary means of advancement, not only for social advancement, but for humanity altogether.